Hello and welcome to the Geekatorium podcast number 137. Is that right, Matt? 137?
Might be 138, isn't it?
Maybe 138. I don't know. I can't remember what I've listed it as. But welcome to the Geekatorium podcast, nonetheless. The podcast where we talk about, well, just stuff that we really want to talk about. This one, we're going to be talking about the end of Andor, the Thunderbolts. We've got some fantastic fiving going on again, and I believe you look very excited about about all of it, really.
I'm just looking forward to amusing you with my addition to the Fantastic Five.
Oh my word! Okay, I'm looking forward to it. We are, of course, live on YouTube as we record this. So if you are in the chat, hello. Feel free to join in all the way through. There will be portion at the end where we'll go through the chat and get involved, and you let us know what you think of everything that we're talking about. If this is the first time you're listening to the podcast, though, on another platform, welcome. Lovely to have you here. If you're listening again, this is the second time, good on you. If it's more than twice, that's on you. That's entirely on you. But we hope that you enjoy the podcast. If you do, make sure you give it a like on whatever platform you're on, give it a review, all that type of stuff. It does help us. But without further ado, let's go into the podcast. I feel like I should explain the look that Matt is giving at the beginning there to all of those who are watching this on YouTube. So, like, my dream situation is that Matt would hear everything that comes through. But unfortunately, if I do that, then he will actually hear himself as well. It's a little bit frustrating. It's
It's the last thing I want to do as well.
Like, I mean, I don't know many people who want to hear you. No.
No.
Oh, dude.
As our viewer numbers suggest.
The listener numbers are not fantastic. Why are we doing this? Because we want to.
Yeah, exactly.
We're taking the Daphne and Celeste approach to this. Oh, mate, I got totally caught up on like a rabbit hole of like YouTube stuff, and they popped up on my feed again. Do you remember when they did Daphne and Celeste did was it Reading or something like that?
Yeah, they got torn apart.
Oh, it was wonderful. It was wonderful. But even more wonderful was actually listening to them talk about it. They actually were like, yeah, we don't care. We had a great time.
Yeah, no, fair play to him. Fair play to him. I kind of feel like that's how everyone who just did Eurovision felt as well. They just don't care.
I've avoided that. The only thing I've learned about Eurovision this year is that the UK got 0 public votes.
Yeah.
Zero
public votes. Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's 0 votes. It's just they didn't get enough to score any points.
Yeah.
So unless maybe they got 0 public votes, but they still got some votes from other people. I ended up watching it. I didn't see us. I saw like from the Netherlands or something like that. And what was funny was just like there was one guy, and I was like, wow, he's dressed like a Romulan admiral. Like,
well, he had the whole full-on shoulder pads, like
big spiky shoulder pads, and all silver. Like it was very Romulan-esque. Yes.
It was Sela next to him on this, like Denise Crosby, just like in the background, the backing dancer.
Yes, definitely. I wouldn't recommend it.
No, I avoided Eurovision this year for good reason, because it's something that we're going to talk about later on.
Yes.
So, and I do not regret my choice any way, shape, or form. But yeah, shall we kick things off with a wee chat about Andor?
Let's talk about Andor, because I bloody loved it. I bloody loved it. I mean, I definitely have criticisms. I have things that I wish were done a little differently, and that's not really actually to do with what happened in the show. I enjoyed the story, and it's just the time jumps between each 3 episodes. Whilst clever, I still feel that part of the reason they've done that is we can make so many comic books in the year in between.
Yes.
Fiction. so we can still flog this horse. That's sort of how it felt to me.
But I get it though, because they had to do these time jumps because like they needed to show like, because I think like sometimes as well, like when people go like, oh, I wonder I don't understand the timeline of when this all happened and stuff like that, and they were like, no, clearly this is decades and stuff like that. So
shall we say spoilers for those who haven't watched?
Oh yeah, actually, I really should add that into the intro. Everything we talk about is spoilers. Now, hopefully, the stuff that we're talking about has been out for a while now, so you should. Yeah. But we'll still put spoilers on there for those who are trying to avoid it. Yeah. But Andor. I mean, technically, we're going to be talking about a few episodes here.
Like 6 of them, 6 episodes, I think we're going to be talking about.
Yeah. Which is hard because I genuinely forget what happens in the episodes.
So we start off. We start off with the beginning of the Gorman.
Oh my God, the Gorman massacre.
Yeah, we start off with the beginnings of that.
That was so traumatic.
Yeah, that whole thing was so well done. Definitely got. It was interesting because I definitely got like finale vibes out of it. Like I thought that was the end, and they did originally say they were going to do 5 seasons, but now they're doing 2, and then that's it, obviously. So I thought at the end of the Gorman episode, I was like, well, that's the end of the season, and then found out there was another 3 more. I was like, oh, okay. Oh, flipping heck. Okay.
Isn't it bad that when I was watching the Gorman episode, I was like, this would make a really good level on Battlefront 2.
No. Listen, it's probably going to be a DLC at some point.
Yeah, it has to be. But it was incredible. Like just seeing it all play out and seeing how much the sides were played. How much the Gorman rebels were played to get them.
And they let the viewer in early, knowing that they were being played the entire time.
Exactly, yeah. But just seeing the results of that playing, and it's like how naive people were, the rebels were to the fact that they were played. Like they really genuinely thought that they were doing what was right for Gorman, but actually they doomed Gorman completely.
Brutal with Cyril though, that he was actually in the dark about I thought he was in on the whole thing.
So did I really thought he was part of it, and then but not. I mean, he was part of it, but he wasn't part of it. He wasn't on the whole.
He didn't know how involved he was and exactly what he was doing. He thought that he was just gathering intel.
Exactly.
And actually, he was. Well, he knew he was planting false info, but he didn't realize for what purpose.
Yeah.
And that was really harsh. That was really, really harsh. And you felt bad for him. I mean, yeah, you were happy when he died, but I was
going to say, like, it was limited because, like, obviously he had that moment of, like, it's funny because he had that moment where he could have redeemed, like, he had a redemption. Like, when he came across Andor, he'd confronted Dedra and been like, this is bullshit, essentially.
This is wrong.
Yeah, this is completely wrong, whatever. And you feel like it could have gone one of 2 ways with, like, he sees Andor and he goes, like, and he could have been, like, said something, but instead he attacks him because, again, he's so ISB, he's so ingrained into the Imperial mindset, the Empire. And I think that's one of that series of episodes, leading up to the Gorman Massacre. I think what I loved more than anything else, wasn't the massacre, wasn't the way that it was portrayed and stuff like that. It was the use of media, the media to cover it up or to tell the truth, like how the different sides tried to use the news media to tell their story and manipulate the truth. It was insane.
Some parallels, some might say.
It's really scary parallels, right? Like I don't know how much they were trying to make a commentary on the real world, but wow, they did it.
Well, it's not too much the real world because every time it cut to Cyril's mum watching the TV, I just thought, surely they have 4K in every household at this point. She looked like she had an old 60s tube television. I know it's a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, but I feel they have the tech. They've got holograms for crying out loud.
I was going to say, up until the end, my gran was still rocking a CRT in her house. And this was mid 2010s, mate. I think I tried to get her on 720 at least, and she was like, no, not having it. So, there are some stick in the muds, I'm telling you. But I thought like Cyril was interesting, and I thought like it was interesting how he had that moment to to give himself a chance for redemption. But I think it also showed you that these people couldn't be redeemed. Like these people were. I think this is one of the things I liked. It's done the sympathetic villain thing correctly, where it's not like they get redeemed. It's that you understand why they did what they did because of their belief system or because of whatever. You don't necessarily have to agree with them, but you understand it. Like Dedra is the biggest example I can give you. She's pure evil. She's like, not evil. She's manipulative. She's headstrong.
She's evil. No, you were right. She was evil.
Yeah, she was evil. She was evil.
She played her partner and without telling him. Like she could have let him in on it. She was evil.
She was evil, and she got what she deserved in the end. But and part of me is like, I don't feel sorry for her for getting what she deserved, but I understand because of the way that they fleshed out her character. I understood why she was the way that she was, why she would do the things that she did. It doesn't. Yeah.
I was going to say the thing that she really suffered from being manipulated the same way she manipulated others.
Yeah.
That was the thing. She got played just the same way. She got screwed over just like she has screwed over any other person that she's ever worked with. She was just the next one. It was just her turn.
Yes.
That's really, and that's really sort of and that's why that guy, her boss, ended up offing himself, because he didn't want to take his turn, but he knew his turn was coming.
But
he knew his turn was coming.
It's a crazy thing as well, because of the downfall of it all, and like this is it leads into sort of the downfall of the Empire and everything like that, and hopefully in real life the downfall of certain things as well, is that those types of control, that type of tyrannical government, that type of fascism relies on order. First of all, like it relies on maintaining strict order, which is impossible because people are people and have feelings and this and the next thing. But it also relies on having someone to blame all the time. So someone that they can blame, or someone to blame. So like it's like Dedra was the next one to blame, and and her boss was then the next one to blame.
The thing was though, like just to sort of skip to, well, this is one of the things that I actually wish that I wish I'd seen how she figured out it was Luthen. Because we didn't see that. We just saw her just arrive and that's it. But the thing was, it's not that how she fumbled that's not what got her arrested. She got arrested because it's her fault that the rebellion found out about the Death Star, because she was sent something by mistake and read it anyway.
So basically she had like a signal group chat that she accidentally
she was sent something by mistake, saw things that she wasn't supposed to see, and that's the reason why that she's in that. So not because she fucked up Luthen. It's just.
But Luthen as well, like, I'm not going to get taken in, so I'm going to, like.
Oh, yeah, no, I could see that coming a mile away. I knew that there was going to be, like, a way of, like, him killing himself. I thought he was going to blow the place up. I thought that was it. I thought that he was going to hit something and boom, they were all going to die. Or he was going to, like, pour the acid thing the corrosive stuff, that, like, use that maybe on himself, or I don't know. That little backstory with him and Claire was lovely as well. By the way.
Wasn't it? Yeah. Like, just
when I say lovely,
dark as hell, lovely. But
it was interesting.
Yeah, it was really, really well done, and it's really fascinating as well. Like, actually, I was thinking about this in Solo. Right, so we got Luthen, who is an Imperial officer who turns and basically starts the rebellion. He's like one of the founders of the rebellion without people knowing it. And then I was thinking about this, like they were talking about there was a conflict. I think Cassian was talking about that he was involved in against the Empire at one point, and it was the conflict that you see at the beginning of Solo.
Oh yeah.
So Han Solo actually fought Cassian with Luthen. Like, what? Like that just,
Yeah.
I love that. I love that little piece.
That is yeah. Because well, at that point, was he part of the Empire though, Luthen? It looked to me that he was part of it.
he was part of the Empire. Yeah. So,
It looked like he was part of the soldiers, and he abandoned, just like Solo did, basically.
Yeah. I think exactly. I think it's in, like, again, there's the amount of world building that's gone on in Star Wars over the last 20 years, 10, 20 years has been pretty phenomenal. I say 10 years. I'm going to say 10 years. I'm going to say since Rebels, actually, has been really good. Like, don't get me wrong, Clone Wars TV series, I really enjoyed, but that was an era that the prequels was really explored a lot. But this era between the prequels and A New Hope has really been fleshed out, and Rebels like really ties into Andor now as well. The rescue of Mon Mothma is then you can watch the episode of Rebels.
Gold Squadron take her away.
Exactly, and it's that crew, so which is really, really cool. But like I always remember, like in Rebels, there was like it was one of the early scenes, and there was a guy who was like, the Empire was still, is been around for a while, but it's still fairly new, and people are like, why are you fighting for the Empire? And it's like, I have a house, I have a roof over my head, and I'm fed. I'll fight for whoever tells me to. And it's like, it's crazy, because like, so that's how it happens. Like, people, as long as people are looked after, they'll do whatever they need to do to be looked after. But then it goes to show you, then there's people like Luthen, that's, Luthen mainly. I was going to say Solo just didn't want to fight.
He never wanted to be part of the rebellion.
Yeah. But Luthen, who just saw the atrocities of what the Empire were doing and went, well, this has to be stopped. So yeah, it's the world building in Star Wars recently has been top notch. Like, honestly, with Rogue One, with Andor, just the exploration of that middle bit of Star Wars that has the prequels to the originals is just, I'm really enjoying that little world right there. I'm really enjoying that, and also like actually the post Return of the Jedi pre-Force Awakens I'm enjoying as well. Like
Mandalorian and
but this one I'm really enjoying. I think they did a really great job, and just to see the last 3 episodes, as you said, absolutely brilliant. Just to see how it leads directly into Rogue One, him putting on that leather jacket, and exactly where he's going. And that scene means so much more now, like watching it again, because it's like, oh, where he's come from now. You know exactly what's happened.
Well, and what was sad is we know where it's going. Andor is like, and then just that little tag, which, do you know what? It wasn't the baby that made me go, oh, it was seeing B2 emo. Because I was ready to flip this desk if they were going to kill that droid.
So I thought I'd had a thought at one point. I was like, they've abandoned B2 Emo on the planet. Like, that's, what? And same as you. But I was like, oh, maybe his mind is what goes into K2SO. Like, obviously, because like I genuinely thought that at one point, but then obviously. No, K2 was amazing. Can we just talk about how awesome, like even better, like K2 was amazing in Rogue One. I loved it. Even better in this, because it was just like, yeah.
And again, slight disappointment, just because I wanted to see more of that friendship develop from that point. To see him wake up and be like that, and then it's like, oh, now a year later and he's fully integrated. It's like, I would have maybe liked to have seen.
Yeah, no, I get that. I was expecting more of that friendship development as well, because it still feels like we don't understand why. But obviously, I think is it in Rogue One they talk about the fun they had on Coruscant at one point. Now we've seen it. We've seen it, and I'm like,
it was only a couple of days ago.
Yeah. It was like, that's cool. There's two things I want to sort of like really sort of bring up. One is that tag scene that you talked about there, seeing B2 emoting. I have to say, like, as a dad, like, I found that really tough. Like, I was just like...
You had a bit of a cry, did you?
I did not gonna lie. I had a wee bit of a cry going like, he's never going to meet his kid. Like, but like, part of him lives on in that child now. And it's like, but I felt bad for Bix as well. Like, she's like, when this
She's
is
never gonna
when
know.
this is over,
She's gonna find out, isn't she?
yeah, when this is over, we'll be back. And, like, you know, it's like, yeah, but like, I actually thought that was a really good way to end the series. Like, to, regardless of Andor going to the mission of Rogue One, to actually finish the show itself, be like, this group of characters is now done.
Yeah.
Boom. I thought that was a lovely way to finish it. The other thing I just want to talk about, like, is the actress who plays Clea.
Yes.
She's phenomenal.
And it was her first
gig.
her first role. Yeah. Amazing.
First gig. And you're just like, how good are you? Like, she's probably one of the, no, not probably, one of the best characters in the entire show. Like,
well, it sort of turns out really that it was more her than Luthen. Like, Luthen was essentially just her weapon, but it was all her.
Yeah.
Luthen just made it happen.
Exactly.
And he did kind of not take orders from her, but it was a partnership. But he did tend to bow to her every time she made a decision. It was all her.
Yeah. No, she was phenomenal. And I just can't believe, as I said, like, that's the first gig. And yeah, well done. Honestly, well done.
They should get all the awards and all the roles in future.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, Andor, what do we think? Just fantastic, right?
Oh, it's 10 out of 10.
Yeah, it's
10 out of 10.
There's one thing that I'm not enjoying right now, and it's the discourse around Andor now, though. It's Tony Gilroy's created this phenomenal show, right? Yeah. And as is expected, as I knew this would happen, a whole bunch of like Star Wars fans like, give him the whole franchise. He should do the whole thing. And I'm like, no, he's done a very good thing. Like, he's told a very good story in the Star Wars universe. And so like, there's this thing that really annoys me. He's like, his tone suits that. His tone, but Star Wars is fundamentally for kids. Like, let's be honest with you. Let's be honest.
Goofy. Star Wars should be a bit goofy.
Yeah, exactly.
Andor wasn't goofy.
Exactly. And I think the reason it resonated with so many people is like, there's so many people who've grown up on Star Wars, and the new content that's come out is still aimed at people who are young, like kids and stuff like that. And they're going, "There's no Star Wars is terrible. There's no new Star Wars that I like." And then Andor comes out, it's like, well, no, this is grown up Star Wars. This is what you wanted. This is the Star Wars this is Star Wars is growing up with you as well, as opposed to here's a kids show and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's kind of annoyed me that this is discourse right now is like, Dave Filoni's terrible and Tony Gilroy should have everything. And it's like, no. The great thing that's happening right now in Star Wars is that there are many voices getting a chance to tell different stories in different ways. And that's what needs to happen. Like, we need more of that. And I'm gonna throw something out here to annoy fans as well. Annoy some Star Wars fans. All of Andor, Rogue One, all the good stuff that's happened as well in the recent stars. Kathleen Kennedy. It's Kathleen Kennedy. All these people who are like, Kathleen Kennedy's ruined Star Wars. No, she hasn't. She's let creators tell their stories. Some of them are good, some of them are bad. And that's it. Same
thing has happened with Kevin Feige, but very few people like call for Kevin Feige to be fired any time that there's a crap film or anything like that. No one calls for the firing of him in the same way that people call for Kathleen Kennedy's head. No.
It's crazy. So I'm just, there's a weird thing going on in this Star Wars fan base right now where it's just like, it's very recency bias. That's what it is. It's recency bias.
I saw a comment the other day and they're like, see, this is what happens. You get a good show when you tone down the woke. And I just thought, wait a minute.
Whoa.
Wait.
If anything, in season 2 of the show called Andor was a secondary character to Mon Mothma, to the lesbian beautiful, like to the lesbian couple who had a beautiful story. To
lesbian couple, speaking negatively about the concept of arranged marriage, fascism and the downfall of fascism.
Yep.
It's like peaceful protest and peaceful protest. It's absolutely crazy. It's
Yeah.
absolutely crazy. I don't know what's happened. I can't see you anymore. Hold on.
Oh,
Something's gone
okay.
wrong with the screen.
Can you hear me?
I can't see anything.
But can you hear me at least? Tell me you can hear me. Oh no.
I can't see anything. I can't hear anything. I don't know what happened there. Are you back?
I'm back. I'm here. Can you hear me?
What I could see that I still stayed on the screen, but I couldn't see or hear you.
Okay,
You
very
just vanished.
strange. Well, we were back. Hello.
Okay.
Seamless and will not be edited out.
Good.
So yeah. It's I find that funny when people turn around and be like, yeah, it's this is what happens when you don't go woke. I'm like, shut up. Those people who do use that, they don't know what woke actually means, and they're using woke as a I don't like things that make me feel uncomfortable, so I'm going to call it woke. So that's essentially it. I know this because I don't know if you saw the video I put out a few months ago. I put out a video about Star Trek being woke. Oh my god! God! I still get comments on. I read the comments, by the way. I read them all.
Yeah.
And part of me was like, people are like, don't read the comments, and yeah, it's true to a degree. I laugh at so many of them because it's just like, are you okay? I'm like, grass is free. You can just go touch it anytime. Just it's absolutely insane. Okay, so we loved Andor.
We loved Andor.
Yeah, that's it. We loved Andor. So let's the reason I didn't watch Eurovision. Let's talk about that. Because I finally saw it, mate. I finally saw it. It took me ages to see. I didn't get to see it on opening. I'm a dad. I have a family to look after. People, these things happen, and I just never got the chance to get around to seeing it. But I finally saw the new Avengers. Sorry, Thunderbolts.
Yeah. Yes. Oh, I've been waiting to talk to you about this. It's good.
No, it's not good. It's fantastic.
It was. I was laughing all the time. I was getting feels all the time. It just worked really, really well.
It felt like early Marvel.
Yeah.
It felt like, I'm talking like Avengers early Marvel, like just that. The humor was there, but it worked. The characters being like these superhuman characters actually feeling human was there. Like it was really good. Just Red Guardian and Yelena. Yeah. Oh my god. I've never, like, every scene was just perfect. But what I centering it all on Yelena's sort of journey, like putting her as the center of it, and
she's the lead. She's the lead character.
She's the lead character, but she wasn't the lead of the group. If that, she was, and she was.
She's not in charge. Bucky's in charge.
Bucky's in charge, but putting the story like it's her. It was her story. Bringing in, it was just phenomenal. Like it centered it, and it made it feel real, and it made it feel really sort of. What's the word I'm looking for? Relatable. Who hasn't felt like they just every day they get up, they get a job, they go kill people, they come back and there's nothing left to do. They drink a bottle of vodka. Who hasn't felt like that? But it was really, really well done. I thought, Valentina was fantastic. It's just the evil, not the evil, the even more manipulative Nick Fury, which I really enjoyed. But I just, the villain. Like, I put that in quotations because
it's Val who's the villain, really.
Val's the villain, but the one that's like obviously, it's Sentry who then turns into Void, and it was just like
his bit where he figures it out and is just like, why do I have to do what you say?
Oh my god.
Why do I have to do that? And it's like, you forget. It took me a moment to be like, oh, there's a kill switch. Of course, there's a kill switch.
Yeah.
But it was that was actually kind of terrifying. It was like,
wasn't it like, it was like, serious Homelander vibes, but if Homelander was a genuine psychopath and not just a jokey character. Like, yeah, I don't mean, I mean, he is a psychopath, but it's done in a sort of
the actual Void stuff as well. Like, so when he turns into Void, all I could think about was Shadow of the Colossus, because that's what happens to anything in that world when it dies. It gets sort of overtaken by that sort of black shadow all over. But then, like, the effect of when he's disappearing people was superb. Like, such a simple effect, but really good.
The moment that, you know, when Red Guardian saves that little girl.
Yeah.
Like, that just shook me. Like, it was just like, it was so sudden and it was just so brutal. Like, it was just like, first I'm like, they just killed a child. Like,
yeah, but it was just like, okay, no one died. Ooh,
yeah,
it's okay. It's okay.
It's fine. It's fine. But you're just like, I can't believe you went there. You did it. You went there. You went there. And like, yeah, the effect of Void was just brilliant. But then, like, the effect of Void, like going into his mind and seeing like the way like it all played out,
childhood and all of that. Yeah.
Oh,
Bucky made that for me though. Where he was just like, yeah, I've got a great past, so I'm feeling great right now. Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good right now. Yeah.
I mean, it's so funny. Like they've been like one of the things that's one of the problems with the MCU since the end of since Endgame. It has been like there's no Iron Man, Captain America, sort of those were your two leads of the franchise, the ones that everyone tuned into. They're just not that anymore. I feel like they could do it with Bucky and Yelena. I really feel like they could do it with Bucky and Yelena.
Yeah. I was thinking about this, that they are like a good mirror of the old Avengers. Sentry's Hulk, you know, the guy that doesn't want to use his power.
Yes.
The guy that's scared of using his power. Bucky is essentially new Captain America.
Yeah.
Which is funny because there's the guy that was Captain America, but he's a little bit more like Tony, I think.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the sort of like wisecracking, you know, guy. You know, and then you've got Red
Yelena.
Guardian. Yelena is Black Widow. She's the only one that's the same, basically.
Yeah.
And then Red Guardian, who's probably a bit more like when, you know, Bro Thor.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
So you've kind of got this similar team. Actually, who would Ghost be? Ghost is kind of Black Widow as well, I guess.
No, Ghost is more like Hawkeye. Like, we know how cool she could be, but we don't like her enough yet. But actually,
she does actually have powers.
I'm going to throw this out there. Like, they made her so much better in this film than she was in Ant-Man and the Wasp. Like,
yeah. Granted, she was like insane in Ant-Man and the Wasp for good reason, because she was genuinely in pain.
For good reason, but they've really they turned her from being like this sort of understandable bad guy, but they actually genuinely made her kind of kick ass in this. Like, it was like she's in control of her power. She's funny. She's sassy.
She kills Taskmaster.
Yeah. Oh my God, she kills Taskmaster. Like.
Oh, poor Olga Kurylenko.
Yeah, but I mean, they had to kill someone. They had to kill someone, and
could have maybe killed her with a bit more impact later on. But
no, I kind of get it. I kind of get why they did it.
I get it as well, but I think they only did it because they were like, fans don't like this version of Taskmaster, so let's get rid of her quickly. I mean, I was kind of fine with it. I get it because he's a lot of people's favorite character, and they did kind of absolutely just not a little change, huge changes in backstory. And
well, they did the original Ryan Reynolds Deadpool and Wolverine on her. Like,
yeah.
All they had to do was give her a time back. They'll give the next Taskmaster a time band and go back and shoot this one in their head. It'll be fine. Yeah,
but it's you know, Taskmaster. We hardly knew you, but the whole film was like the setup for the next film as well. the beginning of the Fantastic Four. Actually, let's about this post credit scene. About this post credit scene.
Which one? Because I like them both.
I like them both. I feel like they probably should have switched them around.
As I said, yes, I
They
agree.
switched them around,
I
make the
agree
jokey
with
one
that.
at the end.
Because like that one, if they kept the Red Guardian cereal box one at the very, very end, it would have felt like Avengers having shawarma.
Yeah, or so you decided to get detention. You know, it's that's normally where the joke one goes. That you've waited till the end for this. Well, here it is. But seriously, what was up with Bucky's hair? Why did he look like 70s Bucky? What was going on with that? What was going on? Why was he the only one who looked like he was a throwback to like the 70s and 80s? Like, why?
Do you know what I found really, really funny though? Is like, because obviously they're in Avengers Tower, the old Avengers Tower is now the Watchtower. And they're now calling themselves the New Avengers.
And there's a copyright lawsuit with Sam Wilson.
But like, I felt like in that scene, like with the A just looking slightly off, like it felt like
looked a bit more punk, didn't it?
It felt like Temu Avengers. Like, it didn't it? Like a little bit like, and even like for some reason I don't know what they did with the like you say Bucky had his hair a certain way, but there was just something to do with the color grading. I don't know what it was. It just felt a little bit fake. And I don't know if they did that deliberately, but if they did do it deliberately, then it was good. It was a good choice because it's like these guys are the Avengers. They're the new Avengers, but they're not actually the Avengers because we know Sam Wilson is getting the Avengers back together, getting the band back together. But you know, it's like if it was an artistic choice to make that end scene feel a little bit fake because it all felt very glossy and very, didn't it? Like just felt.
I think that's the point. Is that they're all style, no substance. They're not the same. They've been marketed because of Val. You know, she's announced them. She's the one that saw the opportunity and all of that. So they're a PR exercise.
Yeah.
They do the work, but ultimately that's what they are. They're a PR exercise.
Yeah. So no, it is good. Oh, also, like I talked about Ghost there being turned into an interesting character. John Walker as well. Like, well played. Well done. Yeah. Well done.
He's very good.
He's great.
There's no big criticism I really felt other than that. I found this with a lot of films at the moment. I always feel like we're heading somewhere, but we never quite get there.
Yeah, definitely in the MCU, and especially like with the disappointment of the whole Kang sort of multiverse, where it just is obviously they had to move on. Of course, they had to move on. I understand that. I understand that, but it's like it's all the work they've done, and it's just like, oh, we're moving on to Doctor Doom now, and I'm like, okay, cool, that's fine. And like the multiverse still exists because obviously they're bringing the Fantastic because now they've properly made it. The thing is that it was a multiversal ship that's come through. So they have come from a completely different multiverse.
What happened to bring them to
now we're going to find, so what is going to happen there? Did you see, sorry, just to completely change the subject though, did you, not still in the same thing, still in MCU, did you see the interview of Alan Cumming?
Oh, he's talking about how his makeup only takes like 90 minutes now or something.
Yeah, so he's talking about like also like he was like he's 60 now, so it's like really weird to sort of like be doing all this. And he gives away. There's me now fighting Pedro Pascal, and it's just like, we found our new Tom Holland.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
So the X-Men are going to be fighting the Fantastic Four.
Well, this is something that they've wanted to do like since they created the Fantastic Four, because they were going to do like a Civil War movie. You must have read about that.
Yeah.
Where Reed Richards was going to stretch himself so thin he would be razor sharp and able to cut through adamantium and cut off Wolverine's arm. Like that was going to be something that was going to happen in a movie. Like they'd written that. That's crazy. So yeah, is it who's writing Doomsday? Is it still one of the guys?
It's Yeah. It's the brothers.
They're
Yeah.
not writing together anymore. But
Oh.
one of them is coming back. I don't think it's the two of them anymore.
I thought it was the both of them, but okay, never mind.
I could be wrong.
You could be wrong.
I'm happy. I'm happy to be proven wrong.
Please.
I keep on. Yeah, I'm looking this up. I'm looking this up. Doomsday. Who's writing it? Who's writing it then?
Avengers Doomsday is going.
No, it's just one of them. It's just one of them. Steve McFeely.
There you go. There you go.
Marcus and Steve McFeely. It's just McFeely. So yeah, it's just him.
So well, you know what? I'm sure.
No pressure.
No pressure. Yeah, just one. It's gonna be it's gonna at least be half as good.
Boom boom.
So no, I feel like though I feel like the Thunderbolts. I know what you mean. It feels like there's a lot of, and especially with the MCU, it feels like it's a lot of running around, getting to go somewhere, but not actually getting there. No, I felt with Thunderbolts. And especially like they tied in, like they did that thing of the MCU where it's like, we're going to mention Brave New World, but you don't actually have to know because we're going to show you that there's like, something happened and that's it. We don't have to be that. So like, I was worried about like the whole, tying in with Daredevil, what's going to happen there. It didn't matter. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter.
Yeah, we didn't see it. Like we saw New York get kind of messed up, but it wasn't part of. Actually, that's a good point. We don't know if like it must be before the events of Daredevil.
I think it must be. Yeah, I think it must be. So, but the point is like, it didn't feel like I had to do a lot of homework to watch this film. So like,
not at all.
Like if I remember when I watched like Multiverse of Madness, I got really angry at because I was like, you had to have fundamentally watched you had to have watched all of WandaVision. And then not only that, but also a bunch of other things to understand what was going on in that film. Like,
well, you needed to know about Endgame as well. Certainly the first Doctor Strange movie. I mean, but that's fair. It's a sequel. But Infinity War and Endgame and WandaVision,
X-Men, Inhumans. Like, you didn't need to know about them, but then those cameos meant nothing if you didn't understand where they came from. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a point. That's a point.
Captain Carter, What If as well for
the What If as well.
Yeah. Okay. So it was the first time I remember watching this MC. I remember watching that, and like I remember there was a lot of stuff in that phase where it was just like it was too interlinked. It was too much sort of like, if you haven't watched this, then this will not make sense to you. This was one of the first ones, and even like Brave New World, yes, watching The Incredible Hulk was important. Like it was a big thing to it, but you could get away with not watching it and understanding what's going on in that film. Like it was fine. But Thunderbolts, I felt like, yeah, watch Black Widow. It's kind of,
it is kind of Black Widow too.
Yeah, you don't need to watch, like, arguably you could say Ant-Man and the Wasp, but ultimately didn't make that much of a difference. Like, Ghost would have been Ghost no matter what.
No, you just need to know that there's a character who can walk through walls. That's it.
The only other thing I would probably say watch is Falcon and Winter Soldier, but just for John Walker. And
to a point, Hawkeye, because
Yelena turns up in there.
Yelena, especially explaining that she's someone who blipped, and then when she came back from the blip, that she lost her sister.
Yeah,
So that's the fact that she's dealing with that pain. You know that from the beginning that she's going through that pain.
I felt like it did a good enough job to not need it, if that makes sense. Like I felt like I don't know. I was very impressed. It was one of the first ones I walked through. Sat through. I didn't watch Black Widow in advance. I remembered it. Don't remember the ins and outs of it, but.
No, you don't need to hear Ray Winston's Russian accent.
No one needs to hear that again. But like the whole point is like, I don't feel like it was necessary homework to have watched it.
No, well, it wasn't. All you need to know is that she's Natasha Romanoff's sister.
Yeah, exactly.
That's it.
But even then, you didn't really need to know that either. Like they never really.
You did, for the fact that big heartfelt moment between her and Red Guardian is about her dying, and
true,
and that's their pain.
Yeah,
that's both of their pain that they're dealing with. Side note. I've been watching. I have watched a lot of interviews with all of the cast of Thunderbolts,
Hmm.
and I have to admit, I feel like maybe I'm reading too much into it. But I've been a little uncomfortable with the slightly flirty nature that Florence Pugh has with David Harbour. And it makes me incredibly uncomfortable because I know that she likes the older guy and he likes the younger girl.
And he's just split up with Lily Allen as well.
Yeah, and she's no longer with Zach Braff. And it's just like, you play father and daughter. Please don't make it weird. Please don't make it. And I feel maybe they're just really good friends and I'm reading too much into it, but still, it made me uncomfortable.
I think they're consenting adults.
They absolutely are, but also
with a 24-year age gap.
Father and daughter.
Yeah.
No.
Is it 24-year? No, 21-year age gap. She's 29, is she?
Actually, here's how here's a little story for you.
Yeah.
Years and years ago, my dad was in a couple of episodes of Crossroads. Do you remember when they brought the Crossroads soap opera back? And it didn't last long, but they brought it back.
Yeah.
And in it, my dad played like a dance teacher who was...
Of course.
He played a dance teacher who was always very upset about the death of his wife and all of this. And then there's a scene essentially where he dies, and then he gets to dance with his wife again. And you see him, like the ghost of him dancing with the ghost of his wife. The wife was played by my sister.
So thanks for listening, everybody.
There's a lot of trauma to unpack here, Rick.
Yeah, there's that's a different podcast. Oh my God, are you serious?
Yes, I'm serious.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that was a choice in casting, and people make choices.
One of the things my sister kind of regrets. One of the career regrets. There you go.
Oh Jesus! Could you imagine? Oh no, you doesn't have to imagine.
Don't have to
imagine. It's happened. It's happened. There you go. I think that's a good choice. A good time for us.
See, I've ruined
me. Let's fantastic this 5.
When your brain is in a twist, cause you've got to make a list of the best things of all time, or the worst things we can find. It's a fair and fabulous, phenomenal, fantastic 5.
Like, we were having such a nice conversation about the Thunderbolts there and how much we enjoyed it. And then we just go down to this dark path of...
I had to make it weird.
You had to make it weird. You had... Like, and it's I feel like the podcast is back. When you make it weird, it's back.
Yeah.
So welcome to the Fantastic 5. Again, we haven't updated the music yet. The lyrics, because we're not listing things anymore because, oh my God, that was tiring. Though we could have done like top 5 awkward castings now if we'd have thought about it in advance. Oh, Patrick Swayze, Jennifer Grey in Dirty Dancing. That age gap is no. The dad was right. The dad was right in that film.
Dad was right. Yeah.
Yeah, like completely right.
Family Guy did it the best. That whole scene is like, nobody puts baby in the corner. It's like, I do, because I'm her father. And she's 16 years old. How old are you? Like 30? 42. And then you see him in prison. It's like, yes, absolutely the voice of reason, that father.
Absolutely brilliant. Okay, let's. The way we're doing this now is fantastic 5 other things that we have been watching. We want to talk about very, very quickly. I'll go first.
Yes, you go first. You've got the weirdest one.
Well, I'll go with the good one first, and then I'll go with the weird one. I have got a weird one, and I'm gonna bring it up on the screen in a second as well. But the good one is I watched the Star Wars. So much Star Wars I've watched recently, but I watched Tales of the Underworld. So have you watched like Tales of the Jedi and Tales of the Sith?
I started Tales of the Jedi. I don't remember if I finished it, but that was the one where you saw like Yaddle die and all of that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did, and Ahsoka being born and all of that. So yeah, I did see that, and that was very interesting. The whole thing with Qui-Gon and the beginning of Dooku's downfall, and well, not Dooku's downfall. What was he? No, he was Dooku. It was Tyrannus he becomes.
Yes.
But yeah, that whole thing was really good. But I haven't watched Tales of the Underworld and Tales of the Sith because that's like all Asajj Ventress and stuff like that, isn't
Well,
it?
Sith isn't, but the Underworld is. Underworld, they bring back, they show you, because like, she appears in the Bad Batch, and everyone's like, but she died. And so this shows you how she came back, which was obviously she's part of the witches of Dathomir. So it was always going to be obvious how that happened. But it's quite interesting seeing her turn from being this sort of like, because her journey was really interesting through the Clone Wars, because she's, a Sith acolyte. So she's not actually like an apprentice. She's not like, she was an acolyte. And she then becomes like this sort of gray area, and then she's fully in that gray area, but she's like a bounty hunter now, essentially a mercenary. And it was really sort of interesting to see like sort of where you see her in Bad Batch. You understand, it's giving you that little bit of backstory as to where she was. The other story that they handle as well, so it's 3 episodes on her, and it's 3 episodes on Cad Bane as well, and his origin, which was really cool to see. Like, and
I watched this.
Yeah, it's really. I like Cad Bane as a character. I think he's really cool. And again, it's that whole cool thing of like, I think one of the things the Clone Wars series did really well was, again, it's fleshing out the universe, that it wasn't just the Republic versus the Separatists. There were bounty hunters, there were mercenaries, there were other things, and the Mandalorians, all sort of other interesting characters and races. And Cad Bane I thought was really interesting, and I loved that they brought him back for Boba Fett, even though Boba Fett was
I liked that show. I don't care. It wasn't the best, but I liked the show.
But I like they brought Cad Bane back for that, and I thought he was really great. They did a great job of him physically to make him.
Oh, he looked fantastic. Yeah.
But the Tales of the Underworld is his origin story, and I don't want to give anything away, but it's really good, and I highly, highly recommend it. And in fact, it's really funny. I'm going to say, I don't want to say too much, but we've spoken about the end of Andor, and there are parallels with the. Just watch it. Just watch it, and message me, and I will. You will. Okay.
We'll talk about it again at some point.
Shall I talk about my other one?
No,
you go.
I've got. So I watched the Peacemaker season 2 trailer, and I loved Peacemaker season 1. It's certainly one of the best things that DC have ever put out.
Agreed.
And the trailer was interesting because it's sort of a quick. I've heard more characters speak from the new Superman movie now in the trailer for a different thing. Because Max Lord is in it, and Guy Gardner is in the trailer, and Hawkgirl's in the trailer, and so it looks like they're auditioning or interviewing for people to be on the Maxwell Lord superhero team, and Peacemaker goes to interview for it. He doesn't get it, obviously. Otherwise, there's no season 2. So it looks good. It looks much of the same. Like it's, Peacemaker making jokes and killing people and talking to an eagle. So it's the thing that's really bugging me though is because there was the show Creature Commandos.
Yeah,
that's not been available in the UK yet.
Oh, it's not, is it?
So I don't know when Peacemaker is going to be available in the UK, because if Creature Commandos,
well,
when's Peacemaker going to get here, and that's really bothering me.
You may have to sail the 7 seas.
Of VPN.
We are not sponsored by NordVPN, by the way. If they want to sponsor us, that would be nice.
Please.
Great. No, I'm excited for Peacemaker season 2. I loved season 1. I find it disconcerting to be excited by DC stuff these days. Like the new Superman trailer. Like I'm genuinely interested in actually seeing what it does. So yeah, it's nice. It's nice that there's now an option between DC and Marvel where you're like, okay, these could be of equal quality.
Yeah, but it's to be honest, it doesn't matter about comparing them. It's just like this one's good, this one's good, this one's good. That's what I want. I just want them all to be good.
But also, they are totally different, which is nice as well. So it's like just a slightly different sort of change. So there we go. Cool, excellent.
So yeah, Peacemaker season 2. Very excited. There you go.
Good.
Come on, make it weird, Rick.
I'm gonna make it really weird. I live on YouTube now. Like I live. Obviously, I don't stream anymore on Twitch. I make YouTube videos, and they're a lot of fun to make. And if you've watched them, thank you very much. If you haven't watched them, go watch them, please. And watch them repeatedly, so I get the watch hours off. I want to monetize, but no, I spend a lot of time on YouTube, and I just clicked on a video the other day, and now I've just my feed is just the algorithm has just gone. You want to watch all of this stuff, and my ADHD goes, yes. I clicked on a random video that was just about the sinking of Titanic, and I was like, okay, cool. Occasionally I'm like, it's quite interesting, isn't it? Like it's a fascinating story, Titanic. I'm really deep into it now.
There's the Titanic.
It's insane. I ended up watching. I thought, you know what I think, where you get a song stuck in your head, and the only way to get it out of your head is to listen to the song. Do you know what I'm talking about? Like, yeah. I thought that's to get the sort of the algorithm, clean it up, and stop me thinking about it all the time. I thought, I'm going to watch Titanic. So I watched Titanic, and nope, I'm still obsessed. Like this is one channel, which I'm just going to bring up. This is one channel, Ocean Liner Designs. If you're on YouTube, go follow this guy. He's an Australian guy who is like, so he's like, I'll read you the title. He's like, so Ocean Liner Designs explores the design, construction, engineering, and operation of the history's greatest machines and vessels, from Titanic to Queen Mary to the R101 airship to blah, blah, blah. So it's not just about Titanic, it's about ocean liners and stuff like that, but he does loads of videos on the Titanic, and I have just been like obsessed with every single one. I watched one the other day. It was just like how the watertight bulkheads actually worked and why they failed on Titanic, and it was just like, I watched another one where he was like why the Titanic movie was inaccurate, but accurate, and so on, stuff like in terms of the sinking, and why people didn't understand, like why it took so long for people to realize that Titanic split in two, like in the inquiry. I've gone so deep into it. Like, did you know there were tunnels on the Titanic for like the staff to get to the boiler rooms, and they put water fountains on the way on at frequent points, so people would actually get because it was hot. It was hot. They and that was the first ship to do that. Like, it was what? Like, just insane. Just insane. Like,
here we are on a podcast talking about the water fountains near the boiler room of the Titanic.
And I'm going to say one thing. I'm going to say one last thing on it. I'm going to say one last thing. I watched the Titanic movie. I watched James Cameron's 1997 film, Titanic. Yes. I watched it again. And it's been a long time since I've watched it. It's not one of those movies that I go, I just fancy watching Titanic, because it's 3 hours long. Yeah, it's a heavy movie. It's a good film. Yeah, it's actually genuinely. I forget it. I remember every time I watch it, but it's genuinely a good film. Like it's got a lot going for it. But I'm gonna say, like, the best actor in the whole thing is Billy Zane.
Yeah,
he's incredible in that film. Like. Because DiCaprio is just being DiCaprio. He's being mid-90s DiCaprio. So if you think like Romeo Juliet. I think it was like The Beach was the first one that I watched where I went, oh, you can do other stuff. But it was like he's been doing that. So he was that 90s thing. Kate Winslet is Kate Winslet. She's fantastic. They're both fantastic. But Billy Zane. just plays it like incredible.
He chews the scenery. He's an absolute shithead.
Yeah.
And he it's been a while, so I can't be as specific, but like him, like sneaking on, like pretends to be a woman, doesn't he? To get
No.
onto
So what happens is that he's bribed one of the officers to get him onto a boat, and then that officer said, "Your money won't buy you anything," right? But earlier, just prior to that, he'd run past this little girl who was crying by herself. Yeah,
he grabs the little girl.
He grabs the little girl, and he goes, "I have a child. Please don't take her away from me," and stuff. And it's just, he's so manipulative and evil and horrible. But he does, like, there's the one scene where he's like having breakfast with Rose, and like he just naps and like slaps the food right, like her plate right across the room, and like it's just, he just goes from being this cool, calm, like but simmering, to that quick explosion of anger, and then straight back into, cool and calm. And you're just like, he's so good in that film. Like, honestly, the highlight of that film is Billy Zane. Like, and you know what? I enjoyed it. I enjoyed watching it again, and I'm obsessed with Titanic again. Goddamn ADHD.
The submarine videos as well, like how the submarine imploded and all of that stuff.
No, I've avoided that one, but I do think it's incredible that the Titanic is still taking victims. So there you go. That's my other one.
Yeah. Nice. Right, it's time for number 2.
Go on.
This is probably the funniest thing I've seen all week, and I only saw it today.
Go on.
And it is, so have you heard about James L. Jones?
No.
So they have brought, with the family's blessing, they have brought him back as the voice of Vader.
Oh no.
In Fortnite, except there's a twist.
Mm-hmm.
You can interact with it because it's an AI.
Oh God, what have they done?
So someone dressed as a Deadpool character found Vader, and I'm going to play you some audio right now. I'm going to play some audio, and it is some of the best audio that you might hear. Because
might hear, we might not hear it.
No, I think you'll hear it. But what's one of the things that you think Vader would hate the most, apart from rebel spies?
Sand.
Hey, Darth, have you ever been to Tatooine?
Tatooine, a desolate wasteland. What is your fascination with such a backward planet? Do you seek to vacation there?
Let's call lots of nice sand.
Sand. It is coarse and irritating to your Palpatine.
I don't know, I like sand.
Does the feel of sand between your toes offer some primal comfort?
That's exactly it. Very primal, very comforting. You don't like sand?
It is coarse, irritating, and gets everywhere. A weakness, I find.
Sorry, what's coarse and gets everywhere?
You speak of the sand again, Deadpool. Its pervasive nature is tiresome. Are you seeking a poetic description of its irritating qualities?
Yes.
Very well. It is a coarse carpet, forever underfoot, a silent witness to the relentless...
I'm just going to stop it there. You can find it on the rest of it. There's so much, but that is the best thing that I've seen.
That is exquisite.
Cue all the servers in Fortnite going absolutely bananas because now everyone is talking to their Vader AI about sand. You just know they are.
I think I might start playing Fortnite again. Oh my God, that's incredible. Yeah. I love it.
Yeah.
Thank you for that.
That is genuinely one of the best things I probably will see all year. So yeah, enjoy that. Just look up Vader Sand and you'll find that there's actually, he does a full-on poem in the style of Dr. Seuss. So it is it's so good. I just didn't, all of a sudden I realized when the music was playing, I was like, Rick might get a copyright on
this. This is true. Yes, please. YouTube is not kind.
No. So there we have it. So what's our number 1?
I don't know.
Shall we can talk more in detail about the Superman trailer if you like.
Yes.
Because that was out this week, wasn't it?
It was out this week, and I'm genuinely excited for the Superman. Listen. I know your thoughts on Man of Steel, but I also know that you are a fan. You like Superman, and so like you just like that interpretation of Superman.
I liked Man of Steel as a good sci-fi movie. I didn't think it's a good Superman movie.
I feel like this is gonna be a good Superman film.
Yes,
like this. Yes. He's back to being a Boy Scout.
Yeah. It's absolutely glorious. The stuff with the dog, the stuff in Fortress of Solitude. You get to see a bit more of Metamorpho. Like all of it is pretty cool. I'm not entirely sure who the guy in the big robot suit. I'd like to think it's Lex, and this is Lex's robot suit.
Oh yeah, good shout. Yeah, I didn't think of that. Oh, why didn't I think of that? Okay,
I just thought it was maybe a redesign instead of him being like this big green thing with his exposed head. It seems silly to have an exposed head like that. So yeah, let's give him a suit that essentially gives him Superman's powers. I don't know, it's a bit interesting. There's a really cool thing that you can see because you know the Metamorpho character.
Yes, vaguely. Yes,
he can turn his body into any element. Basically, that's the thing. He's sat in the cell with Superman. His hand is glowing green. He's like made his hand kryptonite. So there's like it's these little details and these little like, oh, okay, so this is what's happening. Okay, how does he get there and how does that? It's great.
No, I am excited. It's just the feel of it for me. I'm hoping it does well. Like my hopes are it does well, and we can just stop hearing from Zack Snyder fans. But I know that's not going to stop.
You won't. No, you absolutely won't. This is something that will go on forever. It's the year 2065, and people are still asking to explore the Snyderverse. Like Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
They can still do it. Just a bit of CGI to de-age.
The year is 2334. The moisture farms are running dry. Yet they are still hoping.
Would I have to? Can you imagine the amount of chili soup I'd have to eat if Ben Affleck does come back as Batman again?
Well, I mean, George Clooney came back, and that was.
He didn't put on the suit, though. He didn't put on the suit.
He was Bruce Wayne, though. He was. Right. So. Quick tangent. One of a series of videos I'm trying to get started up here on YouTube is Hear Me Out, or it's me basically taking controversial opinions and defending them. So my first one was like Jar Jar Binks is a great character.
Yeah,
because that's
kids. Yes, for the target audience. Yes.
I think I might do George Clooney's the best Batman.
I don't know, man.
I don't know how I'm going to do it. But I think the argument has to be is that he's actually a really good Bruce Wayne. So like, and I don't know. I don't think you think he's that. I think he's like, yeah. I love the theory out there that the Batman Forever and Batman and Robin movies are the movies that are in the Batman and Batman Returns universe. They're the movies of Batman in that Batman universe.
Yeah, that's a nice theory. Okay,
like, that's why they're so tonally different. Is that they basically made 1966 Batman for that Batman universe. If that makes sense.
Okay. There's talk that they're going to release at some point because many people have started to see it. I think they did a screening of the Schumacher cut of Batman Forever. There's like an extra 27 minutes.
Ooh.
Where there's a real big deep dive into the psychology of why he's like Batman. And I don't know if you've ever seen, there's a picture of Val Kilmer with like a giant bat, and it looks like it's supposed to be maybe Man Bat, but it's actually just this giant animatronic bat that they had him sort of interact with in a dream sequence or a nightmare.
Oh my God, did they make him do like Sam Neill talking to a raptor in Jurassic Park 3 type thing?
Alan.
The worst bit. It was so bad. And yet
I loved that. So much.
Yet I am still going to go see Jurassic World Reborn.
It looks so bad.
I know.
It looks so bad.
and I'm still going to go see it because you stick a Jurassic Park logo on there. I'm like, just take my money. Take my money.
God.
There's our Fantastic Five.
That's our Fantastic Five. Well, I don't know about fantastic, but it was a 5.
When your brain is in a twist, cause you've got to make a list of the best things of all time, or the worst things we can find. It's a fair and fabulous, phenomenal, Fantastic Five.
And that's it. That's the end of the
Speak sand.
That's the end of the podcast, folks. Hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed listening on whatever platform you are. Did you enjoy yourself, Matt?
I enjoyed myself. It's always fun, like talking absolute nonsense with you, buddy.
And making it weird. Definitely making it weird. It's been so long since I heard that, and I'm so happy. If you are so a couple of things, right? So as I say, we live stream it on YouTube. So every other Monday you can come in and watch us live, interact in the chat. We will stick around afterwards as well to have a wee chat with you, and that's what we're here for. And if you want to get sort of alerts on when I'm going live, it's on my channel, Rick Carranza. Just make sure you're subscribed, and there's a little alert thing you can click on as well. That will give you alerts whenever we're going live or whenever we're anytime I post a video as well. If you are listening to us later down the line, so if you're listening on Spotify, where else have we got? Apple Podcast, TuneIn.
Again, you're making things up.
I'm not making it up. I'm making this a genuine thing. Is it? Yeah. But if you're listening to another platform, why don't you give this little podcast a subscribe, and of course a review on Apple Podcasts, 5 stars. Yeah. What do you think? Yeah. Be nice.
5-star.
Yeah. It will help us get actual people actually listening to the podcast. That would be lovely. The other thing as well is obviously follow us on all of the socials. So for me, just search for Rick Carranza across everything, apart from X, because it's a hive of scum and villainy, full of sand.
I avoid X as much as my actual X.
Where can they find you?
They can find me on Twitch. That's pretty much the only place I'm public facing at the moment. So Twitch, Matt Blair UK, MATTBLAIR UK.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for listening, folks. Hope you've enjoyed the podcast, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And we're done.
There we go.
Oh, it's so much easier now. It's so much easier. Like,
it's much easier.
I'm gonna put on some music that you can't listen to, and it's just for the audio. It's just for the people who are left behind on here. Let's put on some smooth jazz. I'm gonna put on some lounge jazz. Here we go. Lounge jazz.
I ended up. There was a thing in a WhatsApp group that I was in, and for about 10 minutes, you know when it comes up with the little microphone, so you know someone's recording some audio, and it was there for about 10 minutes. So someone posted the GIF of the we're waiting, and then I just sort of just say, get ready everyone for 10 minutes of Ben's pocket jazz.
Brilliant.
Just to give people context on that, I should have prefaced this. Ben is a jazz pianist. So it wasn't anything. There was context that made sense and made it more amusing. But there you go.
I love it. I love it how like Tiny Dancer Rock Gaming was like first in the chat. It was like, yeah, first in the chat, and then like no one else joined in until Samros later on.
There we go. Hey Samros, if you're still there.
If you're still there, Samros, hello. Evening.
Hello.
On having to watch film TV shows with cameos, I wasn't a fan of the Black Widow movie when making Mum watch Marvel in order and said to skip that, forgot the cameo in Hawkeye. It then made no sense to Mum and I had to go back for her to understand. Black Widow. Black Widow's an interesting film, isn't it? Because it's like
it's good. Pocket Jazz could have been anything. I think it's a good film. Its biggest mistake, is that it came after Endgame.
Yes, yeah. If it had come after Civil War, it would have been fine. Yeah.
And that's I mean, I kind of get it, because really the purpose of Black Widow was to introduce Yelena. That's what it was. That's what that film was serving the purpose for. It was just purely to introduce Yelena, and maybe Red Guardian, I suppose, as well. But that really was it. It was to introduce new characters, not to really tell Black Widow's story, which is a shame that essentially she's the least important part of her movie. But there you go. That's the biggest fault of Black Widow.
I think it's just a bit boring as well. It's not great. It's fine. It's very forgettable. Like
she also was too invincible. She fell like pretty hard at one point, and you're like, no, you should be dead.
Yeah,
you're not superhuman. Yeah, I don't care how much training you've had in the Red Room. You should be dead.
Yeah. But yeah, it's one that I've only watched once, and I wish I'd watched it again. I need to watch it. I do need to watch it again and give it another chance. It's like Captain Marvel was to introduce her, right? It wasn't massive. No, I love Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel was a great film.
Captain Marvel was really good.
What's interesting? Yeah, what the Captain Marvel was. But that's like saying Iron Man was just to introduce Iron Man, and Doctor Strange was just to introduce Doctor Strange.
Yeah. The only thing, one thing I wanted to say to sort of counter what Sam Ross had said there about a cameo, I would very much say that Yelena in Hawkeye was more than a cameo.
No, yeah, she drove the story.
Yeah, she well,
not
maybe like halfway.
Yeah,
she was an important part of the conclusion of that, and she was in several episodes, and she got the full backstory of what happened to her Infinity War as well.
Plus, I don't know what's happened with it, but I felt like it was also the beginnings of them trying to put together the Young Avengers, and I don't know if that's going to happen. I think it's
still a thing. I think that's still a thing, because they did that post-credit scene with Ms. Marvel at the end of Marvels, and we've got Hulkling, I suppose, at this point. He has been introduced, but I don't think they'll be called the Young Avengers. I think maybe they'll be Young Avengers, but they'll be captained by Sam Wilson. And it's going to be a bit like, he's like babysitting the whole time kind of thing. It's not like they can do what they did with Civil War, which was essentially the Young Avengers messing up. And causing a nuclear bomb to go off.
This is true.
So that's what starts off Civil War in the comics. It wasn't Young Avengers, but they were called something like not the Thunderbolts.
They were the West Coast Avengers.
It was the West Coast Avengers. That was it. So yeah, we'll see. But I don't think they'll go Young Avengers, because then we're going to have what? Avengers, Young Avengers, New Avengers.
New Avengers. Yep. It's getting a bit much again, but yeah, I don't know. I do feel like MCU is slowly getting back to where it was. Not where it was. I don't think it'll ever get back to the sort of Infinity War Endgame sort of level. It might. I mean, it could be wrong, but I do.
Doomsday might do that.
One thing I've actually realized I wish I'd spoken about in our Fantastic Five, I've just realized right now.
What's that?
I've started watching, and I can't believe it's taken me this long to watch it, years to watch it, What We Do in the Shadows.
Oh, God, mate, we've been doing a rewatch of that. It's amazing.
Oh, so funny.
It's so good. We watched the movie first.
Yeah, I haven't watched the movie. I just went straight into the TV series, so I'm gonna have to watch the movie.
Oh, the movie's amazing. So much of it will make a little bit more sense as well when it comes to the Vampiric Council and all of that sort of stuff.
Okay. Because I've just done the episode with the. Well, actually, I'm now into season 3. They've killed the Vampiric Council, but it's only one of the councils. And now they've been made the head of the council of their very local area, which is like hilarious as a concept.
How good is the guide, the Kristen Schwal?
She's amazing. I love her,
she's
but I mean,
good.
I love her in like literally everything that she does.
She's hilarious.
But
She's
Last
hilarious.
Man, so like Last Man on Earth, for example, she is phenomenal, and Bob's Burgers, and like literally there's very little, and like it's anything she's good. But you know, she's great, and I love the vampire that she plays is just so normal. Do you know what I mean? Like it's just
There's so much you've got to learn about her as well. It's coming up. It's coming up.
But no, I'm really Matt Berry's obviously just being Matt Berry. Matt Berry's just Matt Berry and everything. And I feel like this is the most Matt Berry role I've ever seen him do. Like,
But no, Nadia is the star. Like she's
so good.
She's the amount of improv that they're getting away with and somehow not laughing. Like it's incredible.
But like I remember I was watching her in Steph Let's Flats. And she was great in that. Like she was really good in that. But like this is just another level. Like she's so good. But Nandor as well and he's obviously he's bigger. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, I was gonna say Four Lions as well.
Yeah.
So it's such a strong cast, like incredibly strong cast, and it's so funny all the way through. I'm just enjoying it. I should have put that into the Fantastic Five.
What's great? Do you know what? Do you know what's so stupid? I nearly put that in the Fantastic Five because we've started rewatching it, and I thought, let's talk about that. So that's so funny. The scene where he wants to go to the gym to chat up the secretary at the gym, but
cloak.
The impressions because that's him doing the voices.
Yeah.
Apart from when it's Nadia, but like when he's doing the impressions of Matt Berry and
they're spot on.
Robinson, he's so good.
Colin Robinson.
What a great concept! The energy vampire. What like genius concept.
So good. He's just, but it's. I was like,
I've got to just tell you something quickly, just so quickly. After watching all of this, do you know who came into my work the other day? Jermaine Clement.
No, amazing. That's amazing.
So there I am, like texting people, going like, after rewatching What We Do in the Shadows, a vampire has just come in, and then I was just like, which one? I just sent a picture of Vlad. So he does not look like that anymore. I got to say. I
am genuinely enjoying this show so much. I'm annoyed with myself for taking so long to watch it. Like people have told me before, like you should watch it. But it was like me in Game of Thrones. Like everyone told me I had to watch Game of Thrones, and it took me years to get into it, and I finally watched it. So it's like I'm one of those people who's like stubborn when it comes to what to watch.
I want to watch things on my own terms and my own time.
Yeah. I remember I had a conversation about this with Beck Hill, and she's very much the same as well. She's like, if someone recommends something to her, she's less likely to watch it. It's like, and I'm the same. Like, I want to discover stuff on my own.
See, and I've been criticised for that. That's something my friend Ivan has said to me, where he's gone like, have you started watching this yet? And I'm like, no, I haven't started. He's like, you only watch stuff that you discover. You want to that's. He says, why don't you should take people's recommendations. Stop trying to like claim it as your discovery. It's not yours. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, dude, calm down. So I'm enjoying what we do. We should have mentioned that in Fantastic Five. Maybe next time we'll see where we're at. 2 weeks, I'll probably be done. It's quick to go through. Though it's not that season 4 is bad. It's just that we have just slowed down. We lost a bit of momentum because season 4 it isn't as good as the other 3. It's very story focused. Right. To great humor. Right, got you. It's really trying to tell a story of something that's happening, especially with Colin Robinson. So yeah. So I guess you're in the bit where like they've been putting the car together and all of that sort of stuff. Have you? No. Like, so the last episode, Colin hanging out more basically. The last episode I watched was the gym one. That was the last one I watched. Oh, that was the last one. Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Which I thought was just such a good episode. Like so funny. But
But yeah, Samos, I just rewatched Game of Thrones because I accidentally subscribed to Now TV for 6 months. You know what's funny? I'm subscribed to Now TV, and I've been subscribed for a long time now, because every time I go to quit them, they say, no, we'll do it really cheap. We'll do it really cheap for you. Like every time I go to cancel it, they're like, no, well, you can have that price for even longer. And I'm like, yeah, cool, fine. As long as you charge me $3.99 so I can watch John Oliver, I'm okay. I'm okay.
Yeah, I feel like really I've probably spent about £300 on my subscription to Now TV. I haven't watched it in months.
Yeah,
I should stop it.
the only things I watch on there are Last of Us, which I've only watched part of the first episode because tired, very tired.
And it's bleak.
It's very bleak.
In a mood. You got to be in a mood for
it. So Last of Us, and the other thing I watched is John Oliver. So it's like, part of me is like, maybe I should get rid of it, but I only pay $3.99 a month for it.
Yeah, see, I'm paying more than that, and I should stop. I mean, I've also I'm keeping Paramount because Strange New Worlds is starting soon.
Yeah, Paramount's annoying because it's literally Star Trek is the main reason to keep it. But then I find myself dipping in occasionally. I'm like, I'm going to watch an episode of Cheers. Like,
I watched the Jack Black. What was it? The Letter to Satan or Satan Calls or whatever it was called. The Dear Satan, that was it. That was fun. It was not the most brilliant film of all time, but it was a solid Christmas film, I suppose.
The thing that I did on Paramount Plus, I binged all of the Mission Impossible movies, and they're so good. Like most of them are so good. Like
I just don't know how I can get past my dislike of Tom Cruise.
Yeah, no, I get that.
It's just I don't really like supporting him.
Yeah.
He's not a bad person, I don't think. I just find him very unlikable.
That is fair. I get that. The only thing that's made me close to cancelling my Paramount Plus is Section 31.
Really?
No. I still stick with what I said about Section 31. I just think it's the same argument that you have about Into Darkness. Like, if it wasn't Star Trek, fine. Yeah. It's a popcorn sci-fi film that people would forget about, and it'd be fine.
If it was a pilot to a series that ended up being very good, it would be quite good as well.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it would have been a strong pilot, but unfortunately, it was written in a way that was like, this is going somewhere when you know it's not.
I'll tell you what I did watch on Paramount Plus that I actually enjoyed, and I can't believe I enjoyed it. Knuckles. The series Knuckles.
Oh, is that actually? No, I'd give that a watch.
Yeah,
oh, no,
well,
I guess I'll watch it.
I actually think the Sonic movies are really good. Like they're
I haven't watched 3 yet. No.
I haven't seen 3 yet either, but the first 2 I really, really enjoyed. And Idris Elba's Knuckles, voicing Knuckles, is like perfection casting. And I watched the series, and it's really good. It's really funny. It's really stupid, and it's nice that they've just kept that sort of vibe of the Sonic movies going into it, but Knuckles just doing his own thing. So I'd be interesting to watch like now that I've watched that, I'd really like to see watching the third movie and see if they've taken that sort of what he's done in that series into that movie, if that makes sense.
I think they will have.
Yeah.
The funny thing that was a brilliant meme, because when they announced that James Marsden was going to be in the cast for Avengers Doomsday, they put this meme together of when James Marsden's in the car with the CGI rabbit, and then James Marsden in the car with the CGI hedgehog, and then James Marsden in a car with the CGI raccoon. So it's like, this is going to happen. He's going to get all 3.
I love it. I still can't believe you've not seen that the interview. I'll have to send you the interview of Alan Cumming so you can see it, hear it, or like.
Oh yeah, no, I think I read something about him mentioning Pedro Pascal, but I didn't see about him fighting him.
Yeah, he said he was fighting Pedro Pascal, so he's like,
interesting.
Yeah. Do you think the whole cast has been announced?
No. As far as I've also heard, though he wasn't on the chairs list, is that Tom Holland is going to technically be in Doomsday, but he'll never have the mask off because he's unavailable filming something else. So they're going to have someone else in a suit. And
he'll voice it over later on, yeah. But then that also kind of makes sense as well, considering where Spider-Man is.
Exactly. No one knows who he is, so he's not going to show his face, because wasn't it in the comics that once someone saw his face, once they sort of saw him with Spider-Man, they would remember everything.
I think it was something like that. But the whole point is that I think they've done enough work to try and especially now it seems like in the next Spider-Man film, they're really pushing away from everything that was the first three films. So like it's, they're introducing
it's like Vincent D'Onofrio also said that he found out that he can never be in a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, something to rights, which is very, very strange. But
I mean,
okay.
Surely they can come up with, if they were able to get Spider-Man in Infinity War and Endgame and Civil War.
Exactly, that's what I was thinking. Is like, why can't? Yeah, very strange that they can't have those two characters together. But
anyway. Actually saying that, also Charlie Cox as Daredevil wasn't.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So they must be able to. I don't know. I would love to see that though, like Spider-Man against Vincent D'Onofrio's King. Oh,
yeah.
We wait for the next Daredevil.
We want Spider-Man and Deadpool. That's really, if we've had Deadpool and Wolverine, we should have Spider-Man and Deadpool. That would be an amazing film.
Well, Gwenpool. That's what we need.
Yeah. Just more multiverse of madness and time variants and all of that. That kind of could be Deadpool's way into the movie universe, is that it's always to do with the TVA.
Yeah.
That Deadpool is essentially an agent of the TVA.
Oh my God. That would make so much sense though as well. It would make so much sense. Dude, this has been absolutely lovely.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to call it there. Because as we started a bit late today, just to sort of let you know, because it's tech issues and other things as well. So I'm going to have to call it a night. But thank you so much, buddy, as always.
I have a question before we go.
Go for it.
Are we going back to 2 weeks after this, or are we doing next week? What are we
good
doing?
question. I think we just leave it at 2 weeks because we need time to watch. Yeah, there's nothing new on. And we need to like find stuff to watch. I think Last of Us might have to be the one that we push through.
I have to. Yeah, I haven't started it at all.
Yeah.
So I've been waiting really.
And I need to try and stop watching Titanic stuff.
Is there anything out in the cinema soon?
Yes, let's have a look very quickly.
What's coming soon? What's coming soon?
I saw something and I can't remember what it was. Well, obviously Fantastic Four, but that's not till July, so that's like,
Lilo and Stitch is out this week.
I actually really want to go see that.
Oh, do you know what's... Oh my God.
Wick's Pain?
Is it this week? No, it's next week. Next week, Karate Kid Legends comes out.
Yes, I saw that. So actually, that might be a good shout to go. I still haven't finished Cobra Kai.
Oh, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's the most perfect ending. It's the most perfect ending. I mean, it's preposterous, but it's a perfect ending.
If I can get to it, if I can get to the cinema again, let's talk about that then. Let's talk about Karate Kid. If I can get to
Karate Kid. Yeah.
If I can get to the cinema. If I can't, then we'll think of something else. Okay. But excellent. I'm going to say Lilo and Stitch. I do want to go see the Lilo and Stitch because I like it. I like the original. Like I've
never seen it. So I'm looking forward to the live action because I've never seen the cartoon.
The cartoons, go watch the cartoon. It's really good. It's really good. And it's one of my favorite of the modern day, like I say modern day, but like of that era of Disney. And it's like one of the last ones that was like animated. So it's I think it was. I think after that, I think it was only Princess and the Frog, if I'm right. So it's really nice to see. It's a really nice style, and because there's no like romantic interest. It's literally about a kid and her pet and having an adventure. It's really good. It's really good and funny. It's funny. But did you know there had to be like reshoots?
Well, because of the scene with her in a washing machine.
Nope.
What, reshoots of the actual live action?
No, of the animated one. They had to reanimate some of the scenes because it was released in 2002. it was a year after 9/11, and they had a scene where the original concept of the scene was that Stitch, the character Stitch, was flying a jet plane through downtown Honolulu.
Okay, yeah.
And they had to reanimate it last minute.
Yeah, okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah. Which is incredible. Incredible that they managed to stick to their release day, and because reshooting a film is easier than reanimating a film.
Yeah.
So very impressive. But I found that fact out, and I was like, "Oh, that's dark."
Yeah.
But watch it, and you'll know what's, because it's basically the same scene. But what it is they had to make it wasn't a jet plane anymore. It was an alien vessel that didn't look like too much like a jet. Yeah. And instead of being downtown Honolulu, it was like through a valley.
Yeah. Okay.
So I watch it. It's really, really good. Honestly,
I will eventually watch it. I don't know if I'll watch it before the live action one. I'll probably see the live action one first.
Fair. Folks, thank you so much for sticking around, and Sam Ross, thank you for being in the chat.
Thank you.
You must be happy with your FA Cup. I know I've had the conversation with her. I've met her as well in real life.
Oh, yeah. Finally,
we've met in real life. We've hugged. It's lovely.
There you go.
So there you go. Finally. But yeah, thank you very much, everybody, and we will see you next time
in a couple of weeks.
Bye-bye.
Bye.